In this video, we will be discussing percent, specifically with real-world applications. Hopefully with this video, you'll see a bunch of context clues that will better help you navigate through this mathematical content. Let's first start with a review of percentage. Percentage is a specified amount in or for every 100. Let's take a look at these examples. So as we define, percentage is a number out of 100. So 4% would be 4 out of 100. Or as a decimal, we would write that as 0.04 because that's in the hundreds place. This number is always going to end at this 2 decimal places to the right of the decimal point. So 78% would be 78 out of 100, which would equal 0.78. 100% is 100 out of 100. So that's going to equal 1.00, making it still end at the hundreds place, which we would usually just write that as 1. 110% is more than 100. And a fraction that is top heavy is going to be more than 1. So 110 out of 100 would equal 1.10. Or we can leave off the 0 and be 1.1. Some common percent topics or applications include percentage of statements, sales commission, shopping, percent increase or decrease statements, ordering in or dining out at a restaurant, appreciation or depreciation, and growth and decay. In this video, we're just going to look at topics A through D because when we get through E and F, that gets into exponential equations, and that's something you'll see later on. So the first topic we're going to look at is percentage of statements. Now, remember, percentage is a number out of 100, and the word of in math means multiplication. So right here, if we said 71% of the Earth's surface is water, I can already write 71 divided by 100 of means times the Earth's surface. Now in this problem, they didn't give us what the Earth's surface was, so we might have to do a little research. Now, I want to write this nicer, so I can say 71 out of 100 is the same thing as 0.71, and I'm going to multiply. Now remember, parentheses also mean multiplication, so I could write it like this or with a times sign, the Earth's surface. So let's go find out what the Earth's surface area is. Earth's surface area. All right, so the Earth's surface area is 196.9 million miles squared. All right, so then because we've got some ugly decimals here, this is an easy calculator problem to do. And I'm just going to write down 0.71 times 196.9. So I'm going to grab my calculator. 0.71 times 196.9. And that is going to give me, so that comes out to 139.799 million miles squared. So it's approximately 140 million miles squared is how much of the Earth's surface is covered in water. Let's look at another example. 18% of Americans say they've seen a ghost. So we can say 18 is 18 out of 100, or we could just say 0.18. Let's skip a step here. And of means times, and then Americans. So how many Americans are there? So let's do a little research. Americans. I should not just say Americans. I might get the show. Number of Americans. So that'd be 308,745,538 people. So I can put that in here. That's probably going to be too large. And again, this is ugly. Let's do a calculator on this. So I can do, let's clear our previous one, 0.18 times 308,745,538, and we get this ugly number. So there's roughly around 300 million Americans, and if 18% of them see a ghost, that's roughly around 56 million people. Let's look at some smaller numbers where we have a percentage of problem. In a school, 25% of 312 students bring lunch from home. How many students is that? All right, well, let's look at this. I'm going to copy this and just take the math out. So it's really just saying 25% of 312. So 25% is the same thing as saying 25 out of 100. And we're doing times 312. And I could also write that as 0.25 times 312. And we can take out our calculator. But 25% is a nice number, so we can actually do some better calculator tricks. So instead of changing it to a decimal, let's reduce this fraction of 25 out of 100. Well, 25 out of 100, we can divide the top and bottom by 25 and get 1/4. And 1/4 times 312 is the same thing as saying 312 divided by 4. And we can divide the top and bottom by 2 and get 156 over 2. And all I did was divide the top and bottom by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then the top is 312. You might not be able to do that in your head as easily, but half of 300 is 150. And half of 12 is 6. So then I added those two together. And I get 156 over 2. I can divide this by 2 again. So the 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 156 divided by 2, I can take 150 and 6 and divide each of those by 2. And I get 75. And half of 6 is 3. So I get 78. And 78 over 1 is just 78. So what does that mean? Let's go back to our problem. It says, how many students is that? So 78 students bring a lunch from home. They're not buying lunches at school in this situation. The next topic is sales commission. Sales commissions are paid to employees that sell merchandise in stores or by calling on customers. Commissions are meant to motivate salespersons to sell more. A commission may be paid in addition to a salary or instead of a salary. A salary is what you get paid per year. So a commission would be something that you make in addition to that, potentially. A commission is usually a percentage of the sales price of an item. This gets a little confusing if you don't have any practice with commission, but I feel like with an example it'll make more sense. All right, let's look at this example. It says, if a salesperson receives 10% commission on their sales and sell $1,500 worth of merchandise, how much would they earn in commission? Basically what this is saying is that you get 10% of, now remember of is multiplication, of whatever you sell, $1,500. So let's work out the math. So 10% is 10 out of 100, and of means times $1,500. So we can reduce 10 out of 100 to be 1/10. And 1,500 is going to be the same thing as writing 1,500 over 10. And then we can just cancel the zeros because I can write 1,500 is the same thing as 150 times 10 over 10. And then those 10s cancel and we just get 150. So let's look back at the context of our problem. So we got the answer of 150. That's $150. So that's how much they earn for selling $1,500 of merchandise. They get 10% of the sales. 10% is something that you should see pretty often. It's a really nice percentage because it's all you have to do is move the decimal place. You can see the 150 is right here. So if you're taking 10% of something, you're just kind of canceling off a zero or just simply moving the decimal place over to the left one.